Good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you are. My name is Manny Sarmiento. I am a co founder of Bizzle.com, and we are here with some very interesting information today, all about insurance. Yes, it's a boring subject, but not today, because we're going to make it interesting. We are going to focus on understanding how to select insurance, what is insurance, types of insurance coverages, everything about insurance, but we're not going to make it boring. I don't do boring. So, with that said, we have Mr. Gabriel Brakha, the principal of Vitalsurance.
Thank
So,
you for having me.
welcome. Can
Thank
you?
you.
It's good to have you. It took us 2 weeks to do this. I
Yeah.
got sick. Carmen got sick. You got sick. No, you didn't get sick.
No,
So we
not
finally
yet.
scheduled to do this.
Yeah.
So the point today is to give you, the audience, some really great information on how to select insurance. Um, you'll see from our guest, he's going to tell us why it's important to use a broker, and some other questions that we have here to make it informative for you. So let's start with this, Gabriel. Uh, Perception when and even I have that. I still have that. So hopefully this will clarify it for me. Is a perception of choosing a good insurance, medical insurance. We're going to talk medical insurance today. There's tons of insurance. So the importance and the perception of choosing an insurance that is going to take care of me. So can you please elaborate on the complexities of medical insurance and make it easy for the audience to understand, for me to understand too.
Yeah. I mean, the process is very simple for us. Obviously, for the consumer,
That's for
it's
you.
not. Yeah, for us because we represent a very strong carrier. Obviously, the biggest carrier here in Florida, which is Florida Blue. But when a consumer goes and shop for the insurance, he has to understand that he needs a broker to do that because brokers do that all day long. And the broker should know that the consumer have a need. They have a need for prescription, they have a need for networks, they have a need for treatment, statewide or nationwide. And when the consumer shares all this information with the um, broker is able to navigate and choose the right plan for the person. I don't recommend for the consumer to shop on his own because he might do a mistake. And I have a lot of examples of people made mistake. For example, by buying a temporary insurance, there are a lot of holes in the temporary insurance. So that's why it's very important to get a broker to help you navigate through the process.
So I got to find out if I made a mistake because I did it myself. So, and there were like 72 choices, and I made one mistake I did make last year is to get away from Florida Blue. Because I chose another company I'm not going to mention here, and it was a disaster. And now I'm back.
Yes.
I did select an HMO. I didn't even know that, but I was happy because the provider here, I guess it's not the provider, but I don't know if you want to call it a clinic or very good. They're very good compared to what I fell into the last time. So I made a good choice, Florida Blue, but maybe you can improve that for me. So
Absolutely.
so medical insurance, there's I understand there's HMO, PPO, BBO, all the O's. So can you kind of, let's not get too technical because I don't want to bore the audience, but if you could tell us kind of the differences between some of those
Yeah, sure.
initials.
You're right that all of them ends in O, but there is one thing that ends in S, which is a POS.
POS.
POS is a hybrid between an HMO and a PPO, basically.
Okay.
So, but basically the main type of product is HMO and PPO. An HMO is a product that you need a referral for most of your specialists, and the HMO doesn't give you the option to do a surgery or an intervention outside the state. So if you need to do a surgery, let's say New York or something like that, the HMO would not allow you to do that. The PPO will. So that's why it's very important to share that with the consumer. Do you think in the future, if you have, God forbid, a critical illness, would you like to have that access nationwide or not?
Okay.
So that's what we basically tell the consumer. And there are some PPOs that are not that expensive. You just have to, again, we navigate through the process and help you choose the right plan with the right deductible, all the features that the consumer likes to hear about it.
Yeah, very complex, as I said before. So things like pre-existing conditions. Okay, I was fortunate. My daughter got laid off from her job, and then she was left with Cobra for a while, and then no insurance.
Right.
And I said, well, why don't you check out the marketplace for now? Until you get back. And now she's working, great job and everything else. But she didn't know about marketplace. So, and fortunately, we're so happy because we're having a baby. So, her name is Luna. And fortunately, she got the insurance a month before she got pregnant. So that's great. But that would have been a pre-existing condition, right?
Yeah.
If she would have gotten pregnant and then gotten the insurance, would that have been covered? How does that work? The pre-existing.
That's
condition?
a very interesting question, and I tell you why. The pre-existing condition doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
No, doesn't exist since 2010 when it was legislated with the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, okay.
So they started first with the kids. They had no pre-existing condition, and in 2014 they did it also for adults as well. So it doesn't matter if you have a pre-existing condition or not, but you have to be aware that you don't try to purchase insurance when it's not in the open enrollment. So why I said that your question is interesting is because if somebody had a baby not in the open enrollment, is a special enrollment period, and you qualify for an insurance.
Gotcha. See, it continues to be confusing. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, in other words, kind of the short answer is maybe, right? If you have pre-existing conditions, but most likely.
No, the answer is yes. They will cover you. But you have to be aware that there are windows of opportunity to purchase insurance, which starts in November, it ends in January 15. So you cannot come suddenly in March and say, I want insurance.
But is that the ACA, Affordable Care Act? Or?
Yeah, Affordable Care Act, but all the carriers have to abide by that window. Okay. So you cannot go and purchase it in March or April because you feel like. Because now I feel like purchasing. You need to have a special circumstance, like moving from one place to another, you lost your job, your income has been reduced, you got divorced, or you got a baby, like you mentioned.
I see. Perfect. Well, thank God that she's covered, which is great. Yeah. And it's helped her tremendously. So, what about deductibles? Because it was very confusing. You have the deductible, and then you had something like the amount of
out of pocket.
Thank you. So what's the difference there? And of course, I'm going to recommend, after our conversation before this program and after knowing you, meeting you, I'm going to talk to you about. I don't know what my coverage has been good so far, but I haven't gotten sick. Not good. I try not to get sick. So what we're talking about, okay, exposure, okay, like the deductibles versus the out of pocket. What's the difference there?
I'm going to explain it very simplistic way.
Please, because
you have a bucket, okay? The bucket is called out of pocket. It rhymes even.
Bucket's out of pocket. Okay.
Yes. And in that bucket of out of pocket, you have the deductible, the copays, and everything else. When everything adds up with the copays, deductible, and you reach the out of pocket, let's say the out of pocket is $8,000 and your deductible is $5,000. So if it adds up to $5,000 and then ends in $8,000, then you pay nothing. So the out of pocket is really the bottom line. And the reason they did that is because before the Affordable Care Act, you had co-insurance, which means you pay 20% forever. And that created a lot of financial problems to a lot of people. So that's why they created this stop loss. So when you pay $8,000, that's it. You pay nothing else for the rest of the year.
You say out of pocket, but I thought I had a very simple insurance. I haven't paid anything. I've only done the wellness. I try to go every 6 months, do the wellness.
Yeah, that's important.
I go get my blood test, urine test. I check my own labs, which I love, because the place I go to works with Quest. Yes. And I was able to go online. And I look at my trends. I tell the doctor what I've got wrong. So,
really,
I'm one of those.
Wow, that's impressive.
I got them last time because my cholesterol went up. Okay, but I think it was cholesterol. And then I said, "Oh, doctor, that's only a peak. If you notice my history, it's level. That was a peak." Okay. And he said, "Oh yeah, you're correct." Okay, so I haven't paid anything. which is great. So, HMOs have a bad rap from the past. It's like, HMOs supposed to be bad. But I've had great experience with Florida Blue covering me with the clinic that
Well,
I
the
use.
HMO is not really bad. The problem is that a lot of people want to have this option of going to the specialist directly. So that's why they don't like it. And it limits you because the HMO limits the cost of the carrier in a way of the claims. But overall, I don't see a problem with HMO except
I've been happy.
doing treatment outside the state. We have a lot of clients that are with HMO. They're very happy.
I'm extremely happy.
Yeah.
I go there. It's they're open on Sundays. My last appointment was Sunday, not
Really?
a couple of weeks ago. Wow, you're open on Sunday. Perfect. Because I hate taking off. I'm an entrepreneur and president of the chamber, so I hate taking off during the week. It's like my mind doesn't accept that. It's like,
Right.
and then I was able to get an appointment 8:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. Oh, perfect. And it's almost 2 blocks from my house, so it was perfect. Now let's talk about. We are in Miami, okay? So we have a lot of foreign nationals. We have a lot of migration towards Miami from undocumented individuals. So if you could cover briefly, okay, you have a lot of people who are here legally, but they're going through the process of getting their green cards or they're legally working legally
Yes.
and stuff. We have the TPS now for Venezuelan nationals, and I think that's
Yes.
also covers. So a Venezuelan national or somebody comes in from, let's say, Cuba. There's people coming in from Cuba legally, the proper channels where you get a sponsor and all that. So how does coverage work for them?
Well, for foreign nationals, there are very little restrictions about nationality. But if they are in the process of getting the Social Security, it's possible to help them with a foreign, it's like an international carrier, and they can get insurance like they're living in the US.
Really?
And
Without
they-
having their social
without
security
Social Security. They only need to have a valid passport. The only issue is that certain countries cannot buy this insurance. For example, Cuban passport and stuff like that. Iranian passport, North Korean passport. That's why I said there are very small restrictions about nationality. We have over 190 countries, so maybe 3 or 4 countries they wouldn't accept because of different risk levels. But yes, we have done a lot of those cases as well. So
But
it's
once
pretty
they're
easy.
once they're legal, once they have a social security, they're living here, sponsored or whatever form, they're living here legally. They're obviously okay, right?
Absolutely. If they're legally here and they have a social security, if they decide to move out of this international expat carrier, they can go to Florida Blue and even get the subsidies because
Okay.
the subsidies are pretty high. So
What's happening is it's kind of off the subject a bit, but still on the subject. So what happens to illegal immigrants? Are they able to get insurance somehow? Are they covered? If they have medical issues, what do they do?
the only way for them to get insurance is if they have a valid passport. So if they have a valid passport and they arrived, and
But
they
not Venezuelans and not Cubans and not Iranians,
Right,
and not North
right.
Koreans. Okay.
yes, if they have a valid DIN expire, they can get it, no problem. And I'm talking about from very big carriers.
So what's happening to these people who can't get medical insurance? I guess they end up in the hospital, and
Well, some of them they do.
we're covering the bill now.
Yeah, yeah, we're covering
taxpayers.
through taxpayers
Yeah.
because some of the hospitals receive money from the state government, federal government, that they have to treat those people, and they have to, and
Of
they
course,
treat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for nationwide coverage, you said PPO. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly is PPO? What does that mean?
PPO, Preferred Provider Organization, means that you can go to a specialist without a referral, and also you can see a doctor out of state with no problem, and also you can be treated for a surgery out of state as well. If you think that the medical system here in Florida is not good enough, I think it's amazing. But there are some people that say, I want to go to Anderson in Texas or in New York or stuff like that.
Vanderbilt in Tennessee.
Yeah.
which has a great reputation.
Yeah. So you can do
The
that with
Cleveland
the
Clinic,
PPO.
which now we have here. So,
Yeah, we have it here, and
Yeah.
it's in Ohio as well.
But
so.
you can't talk badly about University of Miami. That's one of the top,
No,
one of the
absolutely not.
top hospitals and medical organizations here in Florida, in the U.S.
Yeah, but I have some clients. Unfortunately, they passed away because of cancer, but they got treated outside the state, and it did help them a little bit to extend their life. But the PPO allows you to do
Allows
that.
you to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so you represent. How do we say it? We say that you represent Florida Blue.
We are a Florida Blue local agency.
A local, okay.
So it means that we have a contract as an agency with Florida Blue. We, for all the individual and Medicare products, we sell only Florida Blue. And we are happy with them because they have very good and very quality products.
I already said it before, and I'll
Yeah.
say it again. I am extremely happy with Florida Blue. I think it's the past 5 or 6 years. And I made a mistake 2 years ago switching, and I'm back. But I want to talk to
Welcome
you.
back.
I want to let's make sure we cover this in November, so make sure I have the right policy.
Right,
I'm
absolutely.
glad to do this with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I did it myself, so and I guess I guess I made the right choices, but I don't know until I talk to you. So feel free to call Gabriel Brakha. And I know we're putting the office number on the screen there for
Call
you.
anytime.
Yeah. So Gabriel, by the way, thank you. I know aside from Bizzle, which is I'm the co-founder of Bizzle. I'm the president of the chamber. You joined the Doral Chamber of Commerce as a trustee. That was a very good choice, by the way. Okay. Because you have to market yourself. So there's a lot of competition, but you're doing it the right way. You're getting out there, talking to people, getting the relationship. So which is an important part of any kind of business right now. And I think you realize that we answer the phone, and so people are able to call you. Can they call you directly, or do they have to call the office and deal with one
They
of their
can
agents?
call the office, but they can call me also directly. There's no problem. I get a lot of phone calls because we have about 50 agents in the agency, and we speak 6 languages.
Oh.
We speak some English. No, I'm just kidding. English, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Creole, French, and Hebrew. All those languages we have in our agency.
But a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of those languages are spoken here. We're in Doral right now, and Doral has a large Chinese population and a large Brazilian population. It's large. It's incredible. So that's great that they can talk to anybody in almost any language, right?
Yes. Well, the Mandarin will have to work about it.
Okay. Yeah. Work on the Mandarin because there's a large Mandarin large population here. Okay. Subsidies. I don't know where this question leads. So the question is how subsidies work.
It's very simple.
What's a subsidy? What's a subsidy?
Subsidy is like help from the government.
Okay. Like
Towards-
the ACA.
Yes. So sometimes
Let me interrupt you a second.
Yeah.
That's because I want to make it clear what happened to my daughter. She was not aware of ACA. Okay. Can you explain ACA, Affordable Care Act?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't mention the O word though. Okay. Okay. Without mentioning Affordable Care Act. Okay. It's still active. It's still running. Nobody removed
The O
ACA.
word is not the right name.
No.
Because the Affordable Care Act is the right name. Everybody, it's like a nickname they put into that.
Yeah.
But the Affordable Care Act is like a market, and all the carriers are there. And just to give you a little bit of background, there are 20 markets that are under the federal government. So Florida is under the federal government. Why? Because the state of Florida didn't want to have their own market. So the federal government, okay, you'll do it under our umbrella. So 20 states are in there. So what happens, all the carriers come together and they say, here are our plans. And the government says, okay, do you need help? Sure. How much you earn? Can you prove that you earned that money? And then they help you with the premium. They help you with the premium, the co-pays, and the deductible. So all these things helps you. So it depends really on the income and the size of the family as well. So all these information, when you put the information in, automatically you get a result of what will be the help of the government.
I see. As an agent, I know you're an independent agent here, but do you help people with ACA or
Absolutely, we have a lot of clients with ACA.
Okay. So you can help me understand if I'm asked through ACA. I don't think I'm going to qualify for ACA, but if I go through ACA, you're able to help me choose the right plans.
Right.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, overseas travel. That's a big question always for a lot of people when they're traveling. Does the medical insurance cover it? Because a lot of times when the travel agent will try to sell you medical insurance, or cruise line try to sell you medical insurance in case you get sick overseas. So how does that work with Florida?
I think that all carriers covers, all of them, including Florida Blue and their competitors. They all cover overseas travel. The only issue is that when you get into an accident or something like that, you probably have to pay and they reimburse you. So it's very important to buy a special travel insurance that we recommend. Usually the travel insurance don't have very good product, because most of the travel insurance that we recommend, they cover you $1 million.
Oh.
And also they cover you air ambulance. So if you don't,
that's expensive.
that can reach up to $200,000.
Yes.
So if you don't have that product, I personally, when I travel, I always buy this product. It's a daughter company of Blue Cross. It's not the same company, and I recommend to buy it every travel.
And you already mentioned what countries it doesn't cover, right?
Yes, the usual suspects.
The usual
like
suspects: North Korea, Iran, Venezuela, Cuba. Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So to finish off, we've already talked about foreign nationals and how you can help them. Are there any other one or two more tips to anybody about selecting a good insurance carrier, a good insurance representative of these of the insurance company? So any tips?
Yeah, I don't mind if you choose a company that is not Florida Blue, but you have to choose a company that has been in the market for a long time, that is a strong company, that have enough reserve.
There's a lot of new ones.
A lot of new ones.
I hear a lot of weird names.
Yeah.
The Lewis Insurance Agency is like, who the heck is Lewis? Never heard of these people.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm just making that up.
Last year,
but there are names like that.
There are a lot of very strange names, and they are trying to take advantage that the Florida market is very, very interesting, and there is a lot of business. But you need to know what to do as well. And what happens is when you have a company that doesn't have enough reserve, they will have a problem and they will leave the market. And there is one company that left the market last year. I'm not going to mention it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I heard something.
Yeah.
I don't know the name yet.
So you have to be very careful about this. The reason we sell Florida Blue, because they have very strong, a lot of reserves. But another tip I recommend is also to buy products to cover your deductible and co-insurance. These are called supplements, and they can help you to offset. They offset the financial risk. It's like a buffer. So we recommend to do that as well. That's another tip.
You don't sell a duck, do you?
I don't mind selling the duck, but the duck are more. No, they're good. It's a good product, but it's more for group.
But you have
insurance.
your own supplemental.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but it's also a good product.
Okay.
Yeah.
The duck.
Yeah, the duck.
We don't mention company names that are not Florida Blues here, so just call it the duck. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, I want to thank you, Gabriel. This was very, very informative for me. I'm definitely going to call you in November. So
Absolutely.
My birthday is November 6th, so I'll call you after that. So thank you very, very much for being here.
Thank
Gabriel
you for the
Brakha,
opportunity. Thank you.
Principal, our local agency of Florida Blue. Highly recommend that you look at your insurance coverage. You won't charge them just to.
We're not allowed to charge.
No, just to look at their coverage. You're going to help them, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so definitely get a good insurance agent like Gabriel Brakha.
Yes.
My name is Manny Sarmiento, co-founder of Bizzle.com. I want to thank you. I want to thank our producer Cesar. So with that said, we're here. It's the end of the weekend. I don't know when you're watching this, but if you're watching that on Friday, have a great weekend. If you're watching during the week, have a great week.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank
again,
you.
Gabriel.
Thank you.
This was great.
Thank you.
Okay.